This is where it gets a bit bawdy.
Right.
Apologies in advance for those with tender ears. I had a dear old friend. He was a rogue. He was an absolute rogue. But I loved him dearly because he was also, as well as roguish, full of wisdom. His name was Arnold Sooner Millard. He was nicknamed Sooner because they say he'd sooner stop at home than go to work. Or he'd sooner have a pint of ale than a cup of tea, which were probably near to the mark. Once in Beverley, during Folk Music Week, we found ourselves at the White Horse, the ancient gaslit pub known to locals as Nellie's. I'd visited there with Sean and Bert after sleeping the night in Sean's room and Avengers. This was in a time before Sam Smith's Brewery, in an act of social vandalism, banned music, television, radio, and therefore people having fun in their pubs. Was that Humphrey?
We kicked him out.
Sooner, having swilled down 4 or 5 pints of ample brewery bitter in the early afternoon, was in full voice. He sang, "I'll take you home again, Kathleen." They know the melody. He also sang "Blaze Away" and "The Very Thought of You."
The very thought.
And the song that he called "The White Horse," the soldier's dream. See them pass by, there they go, what to show those guardsmen. All hearts beat high at the sight of the grand array. There's a local councillor in. She may have even been the mayor. She sits at the bar in a wide-brimmed hat and a flowered satin frock, looking like she's just come back from Ascot. I go to the bar to refill our glasses and this lady taps me on the arm. "I say, your friend is absolutely splendid. I'm having great fun listening to him." Yes, he likes to sing song, but I have to keep my eye on him because he's not sure when he's had enough and he can get a bit raucous. Oh, don't deter him. This is a real treat. Do you think he might accept a drink from me? I want to say that I'm not sure that that's a very good idea. But before I can open my mouth, the lady spins on her stool and shouts across to Arnold, "I say, would you like a little chaser with your beer?" Arnold stands up to attention and salutes the lady. "Madam, I am very happy to tell you that a drop of gold would not go amiss." I whisper to the lady. He means he'd like a whiskey. The lady turns to the barman and says, "Pour a whiskey for the gentleman in the straw Benji." The barman presses a short glass under the famous grouse optic. "Would you like anything in it, sir?" I know what's coming next. Arnold winks at the barman and says, "Aye, another one." The lady chuckles and says, "Better make that a double." The barman presses again just as the whiskey flows down into the clear plastic bubble. Arnold downs the whiskey in one go and then announces, "Bloody lovely." He then takes the froth off his pint of Sam's and announces again, "Bloody lovely." After this, he makes his way a bit unsteadily around the table and goes to stand in front of the fireplace. He pulls out a clean white handkerchief from his top pocket, flicks his wrist with a magician's flourish and wipes his chops. He calls the room to order. "Madam Mayor and assembled company," he says, then clears his throat. "You've greased my clack, put lead into my pencil, and released the nightingale that abides inside me. Now, beneath the light of these old gas mantles, you will be truly entertained." He continues with his repertoire. He sings "The Miner's Dream of Home" and wrings every last drop of pathos from it, pausing at one point to dab his eyes. He follows this with Nat King Cole, "Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, men have loved you." And then he decides to yodel. The yodel is terrifying. A cathartic growl of a sound like a wounded wolf. Sooner then announces, Ladies and gentlemen and assembled dignitaries, my impersonation of the marching band of the Grenadier Guards. He tightens his lips, then loosens them, and lets out, you know how difficult this was tonight, and then loosens them and lets out a breath that vibrates like a raspberry. He reckons to play the drums in imitation of a military band, lifting his hands up to the level of his nose. Can't do it as good as him. He marches back and forth. From somewhere deep down in his throat comes the sound of a skirl of bagpipes. He stands in front of the fireplace and ends his mad parade by saluting. There's a round of applause. Sooner bows deeply and loses his balance, knocking into a table with his hip, and the beer from the fullest of glasses splashes onto the marble surfaces all around. Sooner flops into a corner seat and says loud enough for the people in the next room to hear, "The singer requires more refreshment. I'm as dry as a cork." The lady councillor leaves her perch at the bar and comes over to our table. We've been royally entertained, I must say. Arnold winks, cocks his head to one side like a thrush, and takes the lady's hand. He kisses her on the knuckles. "Madam, I am delighted to make your acquaintance. As soon as the wind comes back to my body, I shall tell you some more tales of an old sea dog." I know what's coming next, so I try to intervene. "Arnold, you're a really good turn, but sometimes you're on just too long. I think the lady might enjoy her drink in peace now." "Nonsense," says the mayor. "Pray, do tell." Sooner needs no encouragement. He picks up his empty shot glass and says, "The story I am about to tell goes well with another dram of gold." The councillor turns to the barman. "Another double whiskey, please." I see the glint in Arnold's eye. "I have crossed the equator many a time in my career, and 3 times passed through the Panama Canal. I've rolled along the gut in Malta, loaded cauliflowers onto leaking tubs in Sardinia, and the prettiest girls I ever saw rolled cigars on their thighs in Venezuela." It's a well-practiced introduction, and one I have heard in alehouses the length and breadth of Great Britain. I decide to leave him and I go for a walk round the market. When I get back, I see straight away that the lady councillor engaged in a serious act of diplomacy between the barman and Sooner. I put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Arnold, what's that done now?" "He's trying to stop me entertaining him." The councillor takes me to one side and said, "Well, I must say he is getting rather carried away now, and he's behaving quite badly, and he's been swearing rather loudly. He's also been passing a hat round trying to make a collection." The barman says, "I've told him twice now. If he don't knock it off, he's bad, and I mean it." And the barman has that look on his face that says, he means it. Arnold puts his hat back on and mutters under his breath. He says, "Right then, fair enough, I'll just finish off with a limerick. I brought this one back from the Bay of Bengal. I close my eyes and try to disappear. There was an old man from Calcutta who went for a peep through the shutter, and all that he spied were his wife's hairy thighs and the bollocks of the man that were upper." The lady mayor of Beverley nearly faints. The barman grabs Arnold by the lapels and says, "You're bad!" One more.